Sometimes you open a book and within the first few pages you feel like the author has written that book for you, and that is the case with The Weight of Living by Rhi Steel. This was one of those books that I knew was going to defy any star ratings. So Tilly gets home from work one day, finds her husband Rhys with his pants around his ankles and a woman from his gym bent over their kitchen table. Obviously she is devastated, and her best friend Ivy, who is currently away from work, offers for her to use her room in the house that she shares with her brother Connor until Tilly gets herself sorted. It's a great idea, bar the fact that Connor and Tilly have been at each other's throats for as long as they can both remember. Connor, however, has been secretly in love with Tilly for as long as he can remember, and is only mean to her as a way to keep her at arm's length. Now is his opportunity to show Tilly the real him, and while she fights with her demons, Connor shows her that he is a source of unwavering support, and that maybe there is light even when you think that the darkness is never going to end. So usually I would go into a lot more detail with my summaries, but I think this is a book that you have to read to truly get its full impact. Tilly is definitely a character that I identified with from the first page, to be honest. She has this inner voice that tells her she's not worthy of love, she's a burden, she's too fat. Yeah, I know that voice very, very well. And when I had finished this, I had to message Rhi Steel and tell her just how much this book really made me feel seen. I do have the very sad suspicion that the author knows very well as well what this voice is like. Something that I really loved about this book is the way that the romance isn't portrayed as a cure-all for Tilly's trauma. Instead, we focus on her healing journey and her finding her way back to herself. She doesn't move in with Connor, fall in love, and all of her problems go away. And realistically, healing is never going to be a linear journey, and she still continues to doubt herself and think that she's a problem, even to the point where she thinks that everyone in her life is going to be better off without her. There are some pretty heavy themes in this book: anxiety, body dysmorphia, suicidal ideation. There is psychological abuse from her spouse, grief, just to name a few. But Rhi Steel has approached all of these with such sensitivity, but they do also come across as very real experiences. It isn't all doom and gloom though. There are some truly funny, heartwarming, tender moments. And I really loved the way Connor never thinks that he can fix Tilly. He's just there to support her in any way that she needs. The romance does add to Tilly's journey, but it never overshadows this whole theme of healing. And this really is a book about finding your worth after believing or being told for so long that you are unworthy of love, that you're not enough. It is a book about remembering who you are and remembering that you should be loved and that you should love yourself. Without a question, one of my favourite books of the year, if not ever, and it's going to stick with me for a really long time. If you struggle with anxiety, self-doubt, or you have that relentless voice in your head telling you that you are not enough, I really think this book is going to resonate with you as much as it does with me.